Live from Radio Row at Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans. This is Roy Kessel for Sports Philanthropy Network, and we're excited to have with us two special guests, two gentlemen that are very involved in the community that have been partnering with us for many years at events around the country, NBA All-Star Games, Super Bowls, and beyond. So welcome to Dr. Joseph Bryant and to Jimmie Bell. Thank you both so much for being here.
Thanks for having us, Roy. You the man, Roy.
Yeah, you
Thank you
got to
so
share
much.
that with Jimmy.
Yeah, I'm gonna share it with him.
I know Jimmy's loud, so
he wants.
we'll get his
I'm
voice through.
good. I project.
So tell us what you guys have been doing. You've been in town all week. You've had a whole array of events. You and I were on a panel together with Reggie Grant's conference, entrepreneur conference.
Right.
Tell us about what you've been up to this week.
So thanks for having us, Roy. Sports program that we engage in is called Pro Speak. Our platform, we engage current and former athletes to find and fulfill their purpose on and off the field. But in doing so, we make sure they maximize their platform for the greater good. So this week, every year, for Super Bowl, we make sure that we do some things in the community. We celebrate community through education, through youth, through schools, and we've had a program at Xavier University this week. We had our Heart of a Champion celebration last night. We were able to honor some local heroes, including members of the New Orleans Police Department, and we were able to also honor the assistant GM of the Saints. So when we go to a city, we don't just show up to enjoy ourselves and eat a lot of good food. We always want to give back to the community. So we've been giving gifts and celebrating all the wonderful work here in New Orleans, plus hanging out with people like you. So, and then Jimmy is, again, our ambassador as a former player, because he's the reason why we started Pro Speak, so that players like him would have a wonderful platform to share their story.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been an incredible week. You know, one of the biggest things I enjoy, well, both of them were really impactful. To watch the young kids at Xavier University partake and get excited about us being there and picking our brains about their future. And the other thing that kind of sealed it last night was giving the awards to the community participants as well as the police officer that we gave the awards to, man. They were so overwhelmingly appreciative. And sometimes, you kind of forget to be grateful and tell the people that's meaningful doing things in the community because we kind of expect it, right? But it's another thing when you're able to celebrate them, pull them aside, and let them know how dynamic of a job they're doing. And they were touched by it. It was pretty incredible.
Well, one of the things that's always impressed me about the work that both of you do, right, as you said, every city you go to, you're really engaged in leaving something behind, creating that legacy in that local community, because we see so many people, and I'm not pointing fingers at anybody in here on Radio Row, right? But people come here, we're here for the game, we're here for the party, we hop on a flight,
Yep,
we go
we're
home,
gone. Yep.
right? And I think one of the things that's so meaningful through Heart of a Champion, through the other events that you guys create, is focusing not only on the leave behind in that community, but really on building that culture of philanthropy.
Yes.
And helping athletes understand your mission is beyond just playing sports.
Right. And that's why your organization means so much to us. We were able to meet each other a few years ago. And since then, every year where we show up together, we try to collaborate and support each other, because your mission with Sports Philanthropy Network is exactly what we want to be in collaboration with, because you're making sure that athletes recognize their value and utilize their platform. And then there are investments made that are tangible and a real benefit to people who need it, people who can really do some good. And so here you are, again, wonderful setup at Media Row again, but the bigger picture is your heart is so huge, and I want to thank you for showing us and giving us another avenue, because Pro Speak's doing it, but to have someone like yourself with Sports Philanthropy doing it, especially, we were together a few months ago with Tony Dungy, in Chicago. We came to Chicago. You were there for launching a reading initiative. The kind of work we do is the kind of work that you're investing in, and you're doing it on such a larger scale. So we're just grateful for that kind of partnership, because you're really doing a great job yourself.
Well, and obviously as we build out our community of sports philanthropy, right, we're all in this together. People have different roles in this ecosystem.
Yeah.
People have different strengths, different relationships. We always say there's no monopoly on good ideas.
Right.
There's no monopoly on a way to create that impact.
That's right.
And it takes the proverbial village to create that impact. You get somebody like Tony, obviously Tony, very well spoken, soft spoken. He's not the screamer and yeller, like as a stereotype football coach, right? But he swings a big stick.
Right,
He creates a lot of impact with the work that he does because he's very intentional, very focused on what he does, and he's got great support. Two of you with Darren.
Yep.
Amazing work that he does all
Thank
over
you.
the country
Thank
and
you.
in so many different areas. So I know we're standing here in New Orleans. I know that one of your big events is always at the NBA All-Star Game,
That's
which
right.
is coming up next weekend.
That's
So
right.
tell us what you've got planned there.
Wow. So for All-Star Weekend, we are partnering with several of the NBA legends to do the very same things. We're doing a celebrity basketball game at a local high school. We are doing an honoring of all the local NBA players, the retired NBA guys, especially from the city of Oakland, because San Francisco gets its love for a lot of reasons, but Oakland is often left out. But, you know, the Jason Kidds and the Jalen Browns and historically looking at Bill Russell and Paul Silas and all those guys, they're from Oakland. And so we're going to be part of that celebration. And then we're, of course, doing our faith-based work. We're going to be a part of the AIA breakfast. We're going to be part of the chaplain lunch. We are the strategic planner for the NBA chaplains, and then we have the HBCU Classic. So that's another initiative we were able to start with the NBA. And so wherever we go, we want to have an impact. And I think one of the things that really helps us is people like Jimmy, who came alongside, as you've seen him with us, you know, and he said, you know, he looks bodyguard-ish, he looks football player-ish, but his heart is bigger than his body because he wants to give back in a major way.
Yeah, well, yeah. One thing is that this all helps us athletes to understand. I call it well, I'm going to call it the 3 Ps, right? It's we have a platform, and this is what the platform should be about, right? This is what the ball should be about: the footballs, the basketballs, the tennis balls, right? Is the platform, and then you add your passion onto the platform, which is how do you create some amazing things with the platform? How do you get it done? And then later on in life, you can see how your purpose is being kind of formulated because of your platform and how you use your passion in that space. You create your purpose, and that's what it's all about. And believe it or not, you guys create a platform for a lot of the fellas to live life and to even be healed.
Absolutely.
Because the fellas that do believe that their lifestyle is the balls, they find out really fast when there's no more balls to throw around, what's next?
That's right.
Who am I really? What the heck am I supposed to be doing? And what can I do? Well, platforms like Proe Speaks as well as Philanthropy, you guys give the fellas and the ladies an opportunity to walk a journey to figure those things out if you don't know what it is.
There you go.
Well, and Jimmy, we appreciate that. Very well spoken for an Ohio State guy.
Why wouldn't it be, buddy?
Too funny.
Congratulations on the big win, but I don't see any Ohio State here. You're a little disappointing.
Yeah.
Wake up.
These Michigan people, you got
Oh my
watch
God.
your mouth.
LSU. Oh my gosh. We got all these college football competitions.
So, Jimmy, thank you so much.
Appreciate you.
Dr.
Hey,
Bryant, we
Roy, it's always a
appreciate
pleasure,
you
man.
and
Thank
all
you.
the
Keep up
great
the great work. No,
all
you're
the
the
great
one.
work that you're doing. And we look forward to collaborating.
You know we
in
will.
some of the future.
And
events.
we'll be hanging out, you know, next week. We'll be hanging out. We're coming to the Windy City, man, when it stopped being windy and cold. We'll be right there with you in Chicago.
June 26th, 27th, Sports Philanthropy World in Chicago.
We're going to be right there
hosted
with you,
by
my friend.
KPMG. So
All right. Take
we're
care.
excited to have you. Thank you both.
Thanks
Did
for
you
the
guys
friendship.
get a chance to do your
We're going to do
wall
ours
of
now.
philanthropy
We're gonna
cards?
do
We're
ours
going to
now.
have you sit over there.
All right.
This is Roy Kessel signing off for Sports Philanthropy Network, live from Radio Row at Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans. Please remember to live generously.